Barbasol, Barbasol, no brush, no lather, no rubbing, wet your razor then begin.
Well, that's old Singin' Sam the Barbasol man wanting you to know that today's episode of Bobby Barbasol, the Barbasol Boy, is brought to you by the fine folks at Barbasol, who recommend that you shave every day with their new Barbasol brushless shaving cream. Barbasol, it's Barbasol you need.
Barbasol, Oh, hi there. It's me, Bobby Barbasol, the Barbasol Boy. Coming. No, it's not. It's me, Sinatra Lennon, and it's the moment we've all been waiting for. I've been waiting for it. I hope you've been waiting for it. I'm going to be using this stuff right here. Vintage, early 1950s Barbasol brushless shaving cream. It's right here. It's in this box. The Barbasol, no brush, no lather, no rub-in. Singin' Sam told you that at the beginning of the show. And I've been singing that song ever since. Barbasol, Barbasol, no brush, no lather, no rub-in. Just wet your razor and begin. Anyway, so I bought this box off eBay a long time ago for about $13. And I'm glad I did because I have never seen one since. And I've been looking. This is a vintage box. It's missing that part, but it's got that part. It's the mammoth tube. This thing is huge. It's got a lot of Barbasol in it, and it's never been used. Let's take the thing out and take a look at it. This is the moment I've been waiting for a long time. You guys know that I like my Barbasol, right? We got the new one, and we got the old one. Now, this one came in the 1950s. This sort of a foaming version, but I'll tell you that in a minute. First of all, shout out to Jeff, a young man who's just starting this sort of shaving. Shout out to you, buddy. And it's my birthday week. That's why I'm finally getting this tube out. Thanks, girl Alex, for making it happen and telling me I should do it like this. Got a great birthday card from Mike Vance and his wife and daughter, Katie and Kelly. So thanks a lot for that, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to have some brewskis tomorrow, I'm sure. Now, the Barbasol Company was started in 1919 by an MIT professor named Frank Shields, and he wanted a non-irritating, brushless shaving cream that was sort of like a lotion, that you didn't have to have a brush, didn't use soap, and I guess some of the soaps back then were a little more, irritating to your sensitive skin. So he came up with this stuff, and from 1919 till about the mid-1950s, this is what Barbasol was, a no brush, no lather, no rub-in shaving cream. Now, they still have modern Barbasol, which is a brushless shaving cream. This is the modern stuff, and this is the stuff from the best I can tell, it's the early 1950s. Earlier, they had some raised printing on this section, and starting in the early 1950s, it was gone. So like 1950 till the mid-50s when they came out with the foaming Barbasol. Let me show you some pictures of some old Barbasol cans, and then we'll start shaving with this stuff. Here they are. So the aerosol can in the mid-50s was invented by Robert P. Kaplan. He came up with that fluffy foam that we all know in modern Barbasol, that stuff right there. And in 2001, Barbasol was purchased by Perio, who still owns it today, and are revitalizing the brand. I did all this research. I had to sit down in front of a computer and learn. Okay, enough talking, let's shave. How do you like those abs, those vintage Barbasol abs? Pretty sexy, pretty racy. We've come a long way since those times, but, I'm a red-blooded American male. I like that kind of stuff. I got to read this to you. So I think a Barbasol shave gives a man that prosperous look. It ain't just a look, dreamboat. Fella can shave and save with Barbasol's giant tube. That's what I got right here. Barbasol's giant mammoth tube. And it's never been used. It hasn't even been squeezed. I hate to do it, but I'm going to use it. And let me take the top off, see if you can even see inside. See, it's just... It smells good. It doesn't smell like it's gone off. It smells like a soap. So what I've done is taken a shower, done my hair, and I'm just going to put some water on my face. Just a little, just enough. And I'm going to use, finally, this. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go, folks. It's in such beautiful shape. Look at this thing. It's never been squished. I'm about to squish it. It also relieves sunburn, windburn, chapped hands, and insect bites. So there you go. All right, here goes, folks. Let me get it so it's not in the sun so we can see it as it comes out. All right. Squeezing from the bottom. It's a little bit liquidy, but there it is. It smells slightly medicinal. It's very smooth, like a lotion, but it is liquidy because it is so old. Here we go. No brush, no lather, no rub-in. Just wet your razor and begin. All right. Yeah, it smells soapy, slightly medicinal. It's a little runnier probably than it would have been in its heyday. But, you know, this thing is 60 some odd years old or more. I'm not exactly sure the date, doesn't have a date on it, but I would say the early 1950s, maybe late 1940s. All right, let me get this off my hands here. Now I'm going to shave with a 1959 Fat Boy because I figured I'm using some 50's Barbasol. I'm going to use a 50's razor. It would have existed towards the end of its run, you know, the brushless Barbasol. That's what it looks like. Smells good, smells fine. Let's see how it shaves. See if it gives enough of a sort of a smooth bed to shave with. I didn't rub it in. I didn't use a brush, just like Singin' Sam told me to. Singin' Sam was a fella back in, I think it was the 1920s and 1930s who sang that song for Barbasol. And like I said, as I was putting together the research for this video, it's stuck in my head. And it's still stuck in there. Seems to be doing fine. If you want to see what the modern brushless Barbasol is like, I did a video on that earlier, which I will link to at the end of this video. If you bought Barbasol brushless shaving cream in the 1920s, 1930s, they sold it in a little glass jar, and they sell it on eBay. There's tons of them on eBay. Just the empty Barbasol glass jar. And I thought about buying one of those and squirting it full of the modern stuff, but I haven't done that yet. Still kind of holding out hope that I'll find one that's full of Barbasol. You guys know me. When I'm not using my fancy shaving brushes and soaps and everything, I like to do a quick shave with modern Barbasol or vintage Barbasol, just like I'm doing right now. And I thought, what kind of aftershave should I use? I was going to use that Yardley's English Leather from the 1950s. But I think I'm going to use some Barbasol aftershave, just because I got it recently and I haven't used it enough. I love doing this kind of stuff. I love vintage stuff. I love vintage cars, homes, things that are like time capsules, you know, that have never been opened, never been used, and aren't, you know, dangerous and make you die. And I don't think this will. I think this is all right. I hope. Let's all hope, shall we? Okay, so there's the first pass, and my skin feels smooth. My skin feels good. It doesn't feel. It's left some soft slickness residue. I don't have windburn or insect bites bothering me right now, so that's good. I've got a little bit of the sun coming through there. I want to block that out. All right. I'm going to rinse my face and do a second pass. Let me see if I shake the tube up, if that makes it a little more, get some of the solids. Maybe it's settled because I didn't shake it up. Always shake up your vintage Barbasol. This is the weirdest dang. This is not a shake weight, and this is the weirdest Barbasol shaving video I ever did see. All right, shook up. Thank you for your patience. All right, let's put some more on. I'll show you how it comes out. Oh, that's a little more solid now. There we go. Aha. Now you're not supposed to use very much of the. See, it's of the brushless shaving cream, just a little bit. Like when I've tried it before and I got some great comments from people that say, you're using too much. So I wanted to make sure, oh, this is, ooh, see, I should have shaken it up for that first pass. This is much more like a lotion. Still smells good. Like I said, it's got a very old-fashioned, medicinal, soapy quality to it that I can't quite place. It's not something that you smell today, really, you know? I wish I could convey that better. But it's very slick. It left after that first pass. It felt very smooth, and that was kind of before I shook it up, so I'm glad I did that. All right. Get the old fat boy for the second pass. Now, the thing about some brushless shaving creams is you can't really tell as easily where you've already shaved. You know, with shaving cream on your face, it's obvious. But sometimes these thin out to an extent that you can't really see. So you just got to remember. I've been waiting so long for this. And I figured, what the heck, birthday week, let's do it. I'm an old guy. Let's shave with an old shaving cream. I'm so glad that it's hasn't gone rancid, you know? I mean, when I bought it, I opened it up and smelled it. I didn't squirt any out until today, until, you know, I just did on camera. So this is all a first for me. I have not tried this stuff out. And I'm glad that it was in better shape than that old vintage Colgate that I used. I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay, up. Now, I do have some vintage razor blades, but I decided not to use those because they're generally fairly, sometimes they lose their edge, you know, over the years, for whatever reason. I mean, what do I look like, a physicist? I don't know why those things work. What am I, a geologist over here? I'm kidding. So I decided to use a feather blade. Got a brand new, fresh feather blade in this 1959 Fat Boy, set on 7. Which works well for me and my face. All right, I'm gonna rinse off after the second pass. Yeah, my skin feels smooth. Sorry if I'm just standing here rubbing my face. Well, let's go for a third pass. It's just barely squeezed now. It's kind of dented, but that's okay. All right, let's plop some out, see if you can see it. Yeah. Hey, I mean, look at that stuff. It looks like it's brand new. I mean, I'm trying to hold this in a way. It's the right color. It's not yellowed, slightly yellowed, but not too much. This thing's going back in its mammoth tube case now. But when I do this, it's not grainy. It's smooth. And it seems to be doing a good job. Nourishing my skin. It doesn't smell like modern Barbasol, I will tell you that. It does not smell like modern Barbasol. But I don't know exactly what scents. I'm going to rub it a little bit. I know that Singing Sam said no rub, but I'm going to rub it in a little bit just to see. I should try to brush lather with this stuff in an upcoming video. I can't just do one video on this stuff, right? And stop. I got to do something else with it. Trying to block out the sun there. I've got an interesting. That's Frank Shields. Hey, Frank. How you doing up there, buddy? The inventor of Barbasol. MIT professor who then went on to do engineering at, I believe it was General Electric in his day. So that man was a talented, hard-working fellow. I like the smell of this stuff. It smells old-timey. As well it should. And it's very slick. It's doing a good job. I know some of you may be worried for me or grossed out or apprehensive. I understand. I completely understand. I would be too. but for something that is so old, and it obviously was well stored. Whoever owned it took care of it. And like I said, I've been looking on eBay I bought it months ago, and I've never found another similar one. I've seen pictures, and you see some that say Barracks Special on them, like from the World War II, because Barbasol sent tons of it over to the GIs fighting in the European and Pacific theaters. And on the big box it actually says Barracks Special. Barracks Special. But this one's just a normal giant mammoth tube. Probably the guys, if they liked it when they were overseas, came back home and bought it. And from what I understand, Perio, the company that bought Barbasol in 2001, has done a really good job of revitalizing it. And now, according to certain sources I read, 1 in 4 men use Barbasol. And that's okay by me. You don't have to use fancy stuff. You use exactly what works for you. Whether it's a cartridge razor, a safety razor, straight razor, shavette, shaving cream, shaving soaps, whatever. Spend what you can afford, use what you like, and be good. Be excellent to each other. Got one slight nick there, but nothing too bad. All right, still got these little areas that always, but it feels like there's enough moisture left from the residual old Barbasol that I feel like I can go over these areas without getting razor burn, which are always my problem areas. All right. I wish you all could smell this. That's the only thing that I can't share with you. Okay, wash my face off with cold water. It actually feels like, feels like I've already applied an aftershave. Like it feels like the lotion quality of this old Barbasol is soaked into my skin, for better or worse. So if this is my last birthday, well then, it's been good seeing you. I hope it won't be willing. All right, what do I do now? Oh yes, aftershave. Let's use some Barbasol aftershave, shall we? Brisk, modern stuff. You can buy this online, Walgreens. I got this at Walgreens, like $2. Ah, it didn't burn. Oh, that smells good. Old-fashioned, but solid, It just smells clean and good. I like that. Well, I tell you, you think about doing something for a long time, and then when the time comes and then the time is done. Are you kidding? I'm reading I shouted out Jeff. I thank Mike and Katie and Kelly for the card. I thank Frank Shields for inventing this stuff. Thanks to all my friends over at Barbasol who sent me that great care package a while back. And thanks to all of you for watching and for inspiring me to continue doing these things. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you're there watching it, because this really is so smooth. I mean, so smooth. That's crazy. This vintage 1950s Barbasol, once I shook it up, it got even better. I should have shaken it up first. But that's all right. Printed in the USA, folks. Barbasol still made in the USA. Used to be made in Indianapolis. And I'm drawing a blank as to where they are now. I think they might be in Ohio. I could be wrong. Please correct me in the comments below. And as the sun beams down and shines on my smoothly Barbasol face, it's time for me to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me, folks. Gonna put this back in the box, gonna dry it off. One last look at the vintage Barbasol. I still got a lot. I'm not done. I might use this whole thing because that's what it was made for, right? It was made for being used. So thanks everybody for joining me. This was great. So I'll come back with you on Friday. I'll be a little bit older and maybe a little bit wiser. You never know. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for all your comments. I read them all, even if I can't respond to every single one of them. Thank you for doing that. And I'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Barbasol.